You know, I don't really talk about the Jay-Z stuff now that he has some charges against him. And I tell you why. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Like, they have a specific charge. Now, here's the thing. I live in the entertainment industry. The rumors have always been out there.
Right.
But I don't know, like, here's somebody they have, a person. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that we can't see. No.
Right. I'm like, I always have been sad knowing that I wouldn't fit in the entertainment business with the real A-listers. I knew I wasn't gonna fit in. I was like, oh, I thought I was finna be a movie star, man. I ain't with that like that, dog. I know how it go, man. It's like, it's really it's the Backdoria Super Bowl. It really is, man. There's no way around it, man. I'm saying, like, all of the stuff that they say about people, you know, when they catch them up or when they finally come after them. I can't speak on the specifics like that, but I see what Hollywood is. I've been seeing it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I don't even care if I don't get credit for it.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
Looks like things is getting that much more interesting, bruh. Old girl that dropped a lawsuit against Hope was taking an interview with NBC, bruh.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs' limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
You know, when I look at the Jay-Z sex assault allegation, and I read completely the plaintiff's argument put forth by her attorney, Tony Busby. And right from the gate, Art, I had some very serious concerns about her narrative.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, you know, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time.
Inconceivable!
And this doesn't speak to the legalities of the case. This doesn't speak to the moralities of the case. This doesn't speak to the political implications of the case. I'm stepping back from those three for a minute here, and I'm asking a very basic, simple, common sense question. And that is, how in the hell does a 13-year-old girl show up at Radio City Music Hall on September the 7th, 2000 for the Video Music Awards, let alone the after party?
In the Midwest at the time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and me. He at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the
After the alleged, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me, what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, "I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind," he said. When we asked,
according to the complaint, the civil suit, she asked the friend who drove her there and dropped her off. Now, Art, I have a 13-year-old daughter. Help me understand how anybody's 13-year-old daughter has a friend who's driving, who can pick them up without their parents' permission, drive them to Radio City Music Hall for the VMAs. That's the first thing. That's the psychologist in me. That's the educator in me. That's the child advocate in me. How does a 13-year-old know anybody that they can call to pick them up and drop them off at the VMAs?
Yeah, man, they lying on Jay-Z. Man, nigga ain't did that. Man, listen, Bill Cosby went to jail for doing something to a, 15, 16-year-old girl, supposedly, in the 60s and the 70s. You mean to tell me there's no statute of limitations on this? Why would they go civil and not criminal? You can go criminal, then civil. OJ victim's family got him criminal and then went civil. So if he really done that to a 13-year-old homie, they gonna go to the police. They gonna go to no lawyer.
50 Cent speaks on Jay-Z's accuser recanting her statement. In a quick tweet he said, "Man, the B word is lying. Her own daddy wouldn't support the story. Could've ruined the man's life. WTF Busby gotta pay for this excrement." 40 Cent has been on top of the Diddy and Jay-Z case from the beginning. As we can quite recall, he was even there when Tina Knowles hit the like button on accusations against Jay-Z, in which 50 Cent tweets, "Damn it, man. Mom liked the blank blank accusations."
Jay-Z's accuser admits to making some mistakes while filing a complaint against him. So you got this woman who's accusing Jay-Z and P. Diddy of basically R-word. You know what I'm saying? She's coming out saying, "I made some mistakes with the whole situation," but also went on to say that the situation is true. I'm like, dang, this whole situation is already looking shaky as it is, right? It's really looking shaky now, right? Especially being it was 24 years ago. Now all of a sudden she's talking about she made some mistakes. What mistakes she made, I don't know. Then she went on to say it's true. You got Jay-Z's lawyer basically accusing the lawyer who basically filed the lawsuit of knowingly filing a false complaint. So, man.
Greetings, you polite savages.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Ladies, gentlemen, and polite savages, it appears that the system's a little upset at Jigga for overcharging them for what they did to the Cold Crush. As always, we can only guarantee to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as we see it. And there's nothing left to do but get on into it. Are you ready? Let's go. Well, it appears that a broken clock is right twice a day, and Dr. Umar had a lot to say about the whole Jay-Z situation. Man, something's kind of weird here because Dr. Umar has been making a lot of sense when it comes to a couple of things, like he's finally getting out of his pandering stage and taking a crap on men all the time. But let's get back to this accusation that this young lady made about Jigga, and what I really have are two questions about the whole thing besides the fact that her account seems to be shaky at best.
1.
What the heck is she even talking to the press for? What kind of lawyer does she have? Because every lawyer I know tells you, number one, don't say anything, I'll say it for you.
2.
With all of these inconsistencies, how can this lawsuit even go forward? Now look, I always maintained the fact that if Jay-Z did anything, he should go to jail. But I also maintained the fact that every person, no matter who they are, deserves a fair and equal trial under our justice system. And I'm not concerned with Jay-Z's ability to defend himself because this man's a billionaire. It's not like he's some kid off the street struggling. It's not like these accusations that can absolutely ruin your legacy, your ability to earn, and ability to move your family name forward. Heck no, nobody would ever make something up just to get a little money, right?
Silence!
And I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't. And that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. And that was wrong. And I hope that they can forgive me.
Nasty. Depending on the level and functionality of autism, which this lady who did accuse Jay-Z admitted that she had, a lot of times these folks may have not the discernment to understand what they are doing and how it affects the future. Yes, they know telling the truth is necessary, but they may not understand or have the ability to discern what they're actually doing to somebody. I'm not saying this young lady doesn't have rights, but what I am saying is that her story is full of holes and inconsistencies. Is this a case of somebody looking for immediate gratification and maybe some compensation because her life is hard? Who knows? But I can tell you one thing, it don't look too good for her side. And that attorney she hired, he must be sweating bullets wondering how in the heck could he let this get through his vetting process.
Jury lawyer out of Houston. He's filed at least 20 essays, lawsuits against Mr. Combs and used a phone hotline, Instagram, and news conference to find clients. So is he the real deal?
What you have is a growing trend in law to convert it from a profession to a business. And I've noticed that the best businessmen, when it comes to practice of law, are not necessarily the best professionals when it comes to the practice. It all depends on motivation.
You know, I've been looking at the news, and a couple weeks ago I saw that, you know, that attorney had got sued for extortion. And I saw the lawyers that were on the case, and I saw that Alex Shapiro, so, or whatever his name is. So I was like, damn, homie might be jammed up or be a part of that. But I didn't think too much of it.
It's not looking good for Tony Busby and the woman who accused Jay-Z of rape. She sat down with NBC and they found a lot of inconsistencies in her story. The night that this happened, she said that she spoke with Benji Madden about his tattoos, but he was on tour.
It is the basic truth of the human condition that everybody lies. The only variable is about what.
After the incident happened, she said she ran to a gas station, she called her dad, and he picked her up, but he's saying he doesn't remember.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
So soon when I saw that, I said something interesting is going on here. So as I read the civil suit paperwork further, she says she goes over to the limousine row where the limousine drivers are parked, and she runs into one of the drivers for Puff's entourage or so forth. And he tells her that if you stay here or meet me back here after the award show, I have to drop off Puff, I gotta drop off his entourage, some other celebrities, and when I'm done dropping them off, I'm gonna come back and pick you up. You misrepresent yourself as being older than what you really are. Because Art, everybody knows a minor cannot sign consent for themselves.
But one thing is for certain, Jay-Z is a part of a mechanism that has a lot of money behind him. Him and Beyonce, billionaires, they have more than enough money to adequately defend themselves. And they also have enough money to put it out there to get an attorney to file a defamation suit. And I'm really curious of why this suit isn't dismissed yet with these inconsistencies. Could it be that the world is falling into the guilty by association fallacy since he has been friends and business partners with Puff, since he was doing business with R. Kelly, since he's been around a lot of folks that could be considered shady, but the music industry is such? Could it be that because he's a part of this mechanism that they just look at this man and just judge this man preemptively and say that he is the person and he must have did this because he's around people who do this in their opinion?
So then it made me think about being famous and how dangerous that is. Because they're doing the same thing that happened with Puff as far as the way the algorithm is. To me, it's worse. And they're scrutinizing every single thing from the last 20, 30 years. Every lyric, I've been sensed up. They take the statement and put it in AI. I'm seeing Forbes flip. It's like, it's just, people could love you one day, but they just love to really hate you so much more. And that was a person that I was like, he can't do no wrong.
Time will tell, but I'll tell you this. The man deserves a fair shake, a fair look, and a fair trial. And I'm not saying this because Jay-Z is one of my favorite rappers. I'm saying this because I believe every man, especially since the Me Too era, needs to be judged according to what actually happened and not judged according to what they say happened. But never underestimate the pettiness of a billionaire who came up from nothing, who had to fight, struggle, and strive, who didn't even think he was going to be alive at this state, let alone having everything that he could have imagined. We always ask, how deep does a rabbit hole go? Well, I'll tell you one thing. What I heard from this lady, her inconsistencies, her obviously being out of sorts, I don't think that's the one, the two, or the three. I think this is total and complete fabrication. Only time will tell. I can be wrong just like anyone else, you dig?
Jay-Z ain't playing with y'all, man. To all the conspiracy theorists, podcasters, YouTubers, man, get ready to start putting the fries in the bag. Jay-Z has waged a full-on war against anybody playing with his name.
A minor cannot sign consent for themselves. So if someone in that party gave this 13-year-old child a non-disclosure agreement, that means they were under the assumption that you were an adult and you did not make it clear to them that you were only a child.
It's really weird how the whole thing, it went from like nobody listening, men not listening to women at all, to just this total overcorrection that anything they fucking said means it happens, you know? They got these hashtags like, you know, believe women. Believe women, right? It's a little open-ended, huh? It's just straight across the board, all of them, every last fucking one of them. What about the psychos?
Thank you for watching the TIP Network. Follow us on all social media outlets and ask yourself one burning question. Can you handle the tip? Boom. We're out.
We found true happiness